What's up, Sean?
What's up, guys?
I'm sure there's a lot of things going on emotionally heading into this fight, but I'm curious for you, what is the most important thing here? Getting the title back or beating Merab and proving you can beat him?
Beating Merab, 100%. Like, I wanted the... Even if Merab would have lost to Umar, like, part of me just wanted the Merab fight back. So, the Merab, for sure.
Is part of that because you feel like you came pretty close to actually beating him first time round, and it's just a couple of little adjustments that'll make the difference?
No, it's just losing. Like, after the first Cheeto fight, like, I wanted that fight back so bad, but I was like, I knew I'd get it back eventually. It had to make sense, timing. This one's the same thing. It's just like, I just got to get that one back.
It's funny, I feel like the narrative's somewhat changing about your first fight. After the first fight, everyone's like, oh, Merab washed him, you know, it was an easy win for Merab. But now people are going back and rewatching it and realizing it was a little closer, especially that fifth round. What do you feel about that first fight, and what do you think people were missing in the moment to not realize it was actually that close?
Yeah, I think the second and fourth round were so dominant for him. It just kind of took over the whole fight, which I totally get. Like, I analyze my fights more than anybody, so after I rewatched it, I was like, well, that was a lot closer than people thought. But it doesn't matter if it's close, if you lose. So yeah, I'm planning on this one not being so close.
You talked about the changes you've made in your personal life, lack of social media and all that stuff. How do you feel that will actually play into the performance on Saturday, if at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I feel just overall and a lot. And I never felt like I was in a bad place or sad place or dark place. I always felt pretty good, but I always felt like I could feel better, you know. So I think whether it helps the performance or not, like, I feel better. So that's all that matters.
Physically, I think there was like a video going around of you on crutches a while back there and stuff like that. How much better do you feel for this fight than you were the first time around with Merab?
You say crotch?
Crutches.
Oh, crutch. Like, there's a video going on my crotch. That's not good. Crutches for it's yeah, I feel a lot better this fight. This whole camp's been a lot better.
Nice. Is your father in your corner for this fight?
yeah. Dad's in the corner. His 60th birthday. That'd probably be the coolest gift I could give him. So he's pumped.
Does that just make it all a little bit extra special? Just have him there, or?
It does. It'll be cool. He gets nervous before the fight, so it'll be kind of, for me, it'll be kind of funny to watch him in the back, and because all the boys, all the corner, like, we've been through this so many times. Like, we're very calm in the back. It's just, another Saturday night for us, but for him, it'll be funny to watch him pretend to be calm. He'll just be like,
best of luck.
Sean over here. Outside of all the changes you said you've made to your life, but you had a new son, you saw your daughter get her first stripe, you're building a house. So I guess just outside of the stuff that people have been asking you about, just how's life been in general since that first fight?
Been good. Nothing to complain about. Had a healthy baby boy a couple weeks ago. Hey, that's just, like, all this stuff is fun, and I get to do this. Like, this is all good, but it's like that Sunday rolls around. It's like back to being dad, back to the family. So that's all this provides to be able to live the life we get to live, and I'm super grateful for it. But yeah, it's puts it in perspective what life's all about.
That line you said you were too attached to that sugar character that was on the countdown. Is that why you didn't dye the hair or anything for this fight, or you just didn't want to sit down for it?
I just didn't want to sit down for it. I love the pink hair. It's fun, but it's a process, and I was just kind of. I thought bringing back the OG hair would be pretty cool too. I think last time I had this was Jose Quinones. The first time I did my hair was June 6, 2020, so almost 5 years ago to the day, and yeah, so it was pretty crazy. I thought bringing back the OG hair was cool.
Tim's done some interviews. He said, the lighting was weird. Chael said that you were pulled in all these different directions and just all these distractions and everything. But in other interviews, you seem to kind of stop yourself when you could give excuses. You kind of stop yourself. It's in the past. I just kind of want to. It is what it is. I think is what you say. So it feels like. What is that like? Like, you could give excuses, but you just kind of stop yourself from kind of doing that.
Oh no, my hip was my excuse. I've been saying that. I had a torn labrum. It's like, I walked into that cage confident. I was going to beat Merab. I don't regret walking into that cage. He beat me. It is what it is. My performance wasn't as, I rewatched it. There was things I could have done better, but in the cage that night I felt good. I just didn't prepare the way I was supposed to because I wasn't able to. It wasn't because I was fucking around doing other things. I was still at a good camp, disciplined, weight was good, everything was good. Just wasn't able to do what you need to be able to do to fight someone like Merab.
And Javier Mendez gave an interview after Umar's loss. He said Merab just knows how to win by, like, whether it's showboating or just holding people against the fence and making it look like he's dominating when, you said it's a lot closer than maybe people think. So how is that an accurate kind of description of how Merab wins? Like, he just kind of knows how to squeak out these wins.
I mean, he's definitely a master at getting in positions and kind of doing enough to make it look like he's. I mean, the win streak he's on, you can't talk too much shit about it. He's crazy win streak, beating the best guys. He's winning. That's all that matters.
And then there was a video of you going on, I think it was on your YouTube channels. You were watching the rematch between Nate and Connor. Was that just a coincidence? Because even Connor seemed to pick up on it on Twitter.
I've been just watching a bunch of fights lately. I don't know. I've just been watching a bunch of fights.
And last one for me, Mario's welcoming Patchy Mix to the UFC. What do you make of that fight? And Patchy not only coming into the UFC, but facing against Mario.
Yeah, Patchy adding to the bantamweight is sweet. Makes the bantamweight division even that much sweeter. Fighting Mario's tough. He's super tough. I know he got a lot of shit for that Jose Aldo fight, but he's on a tear. Mario is legit, very, very high level, very skilled. I'm excited for that fight.
Sean over here. Any chance you could move the water bottle out of the way? Thank you. Appreciate it. A lot of talk about these changes, obviously. Like, how much of that is tied into what you feel you need out of a result? Like, are you just happy that you've made positive things in your life and it's completely unrelated to whether you win or lose this fight?
What was your question? Sorry.
Just all kind of the changes you made. Did you make those working towards a different result, or is all these things separate in terms of the man you're trying to be and the fighter you're trying to be?
Like I said before, I've always felt like I'm a happy person, but I was like, my life is everything's so perfect. I should be even a little bit. I should be more happy. Like, what can I take away to add to my happiness, to my peace? And it was just take away distractions, and that was for me as a person, not necessarily as an athlete, and want to be a better fighter. All that stuff will make me a better fighter, but it wasn't necessarily for that.
Gotcha. I was talking to Dominic Cruz about all that stuff going on. He said he feels this is going to give longevity to your career, probably more so than maybe other lifestyle choices would have. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm 30 right now. I feel like we haven't got to see me in my prime. This might be the first fight in my prime, but I want to stick around as long as possible, and longevity is on my mind every day.
Do you feel like you have to knock Merab out in this fight, or do you see options for submission or decision?
I feel like I can win this fight in any which way, and we'll see Saturday night.
And if you get that belt back, do you feel like this is a trilogy that would need to be completed, or would you kind of look at other options out there?
Definitely possible. I like having options. I like it's nice to be able to have options after a fight, so that's possible.
Yeah, and just last one, Merab said he wants to have 4 title defenses this year. He's already talking about having 2 more after you. Do you feel like he is giving you your appropriate respect and focus going into this rematch?
I can't tell you what that dude's thinking. I don't know if he knows what he's thinking. 4 is crazy. I mean, if anyone could do it, I mean, he ain't going to be able to get it done Saturday night, so no, but someone like that could fucking bust out 4 in a year.
Sean, right back here. Good. Okay.
Sean, over here. After you win your fight against Merab, if you win, what are your plans? Training with Adesanya is something that you will keep?
Izzy was just in Arizona. He hit me up. I said, pull up to the gym, hang out, and that was super cool. We live very far apart, so probably won't train with him much more, but just back to work.
And who is next? Do you have someone in mind? Maybe Cory Sanhagen?
Like I said, the Merab trilogy could be there. Peter Yan rematch could be there. Cory could be there. There's so many options after this fight, but pointless talk about until maybe Sunday rolls around. We can answer that.
And is it possible that maybe in the future, if the UFC fans asks for it, we'll see the Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera trilogy?
Did you see that last fight? Probably not.
Okay, thank you.
Sean, the last time you came off a loss was when you finished Thomas Almeida and you went on that crazy streak to become champion. During this camp, did you ever reflect on those times, think about what it took to kind of buckle down and do what you did there and prepare to do something similar?
No, I definitely, yeah, the Thomas Almeida fight was one of my favorite performances, one of my favorite knockouts. So, coming off that loss and coming back to that performance, definitely, I've watched that fight back a few times and would love to Thomas Almeida Merab.
And I respect the life changes that you made, and I'm assuming that they helped you in other ways other than your professional MMA career. Did you feel refined, healthier in other aspects of your life? And if so, what were they?
I just feel more slowed down. Like life's just a little bit slower in a good way.
Thank you.
Is like kind of on that same note, do you feel like maybe you're able to be more present with especially your family now that you're kind of maybe not distracted with that persona, that the Sugar Sean persona?
100%.
What in what ways? Like, are you just doing more things with your family, or like, how does this kind of manifest?
I just feel like I'm not, you catch yourself, even if I catch myself, I was driving, like kind of surfing Instagram, like, what the fuck am I doing? Just like catch myself and doing stuff like that. Or like playing with my daughter, surfing X, like, what am I doing here? So I feel like it just, limiting those distractions, definitely more present with the family, with training, with friends, just in general.
And it just seems like in general, you got your father in your corner. You're talking about a lot better times with your children and that kind of thing. Do you just feel like you've grown a lot closer to your family, especially now that you're 30?
I enjoyed my 20s. 20s were good. I feel like 30 was time to really grow up, and I'm very happy with how my 20s played out. I was able to stay dialed. I stayed disciplined. I was always focused. I never was lacking in fight camps. And never was an issue. I just now feel like I'm just evolving.
Do you think you would have gotten there if maybe that fight in September didn't go the way it did, if you'd won that fight?
Yeah, I do. I do think I would have gotten there because I've wanted to do that for a long time. I think that just kind of either pushed it forward, but I do think I would eventually have gotten to this spot. But you never know.
And then one more question about the fight itself, the fact that this is a rematch. You're no stranger to rematches now. How much do you kind of, especially from your first experience with Cheeto and everything, how much do you draw upon the fact that you've had time in the cage with this person to be able to help you in this case?
Yeah, I mean, we both had 25 minutes together, so if it helps me, it helps him. But he didn't get the best version of me, so I don't know if he's overlooking me. I don't think he is. I think he knows this is a tough fight. But yeah, I feel like I got a good version of Merab. I think he's in his prime right now. He's had the best performance of his life against Umar. But I don't think he got the best version of me, so I think I can surprise him.
Actually, one more question. I mean, we've seen you kind of have some fun in the cage too. You like to whip out the basketball moves and that kind of thing. Are we still going to see that if you're feeling it, or is that kind of past now?
It just comes out when it comes out. I don't plan that shit.
Okay, thank you.
Just to kind of play off the theme here, I guess, when you gave up these things, you said you were more present, but did you pick up any like new hobbies? Did you start maybe reading more? Was there anything that to pass the time?
Definitely been playing some poker.
Okay.
Poker with the boys is a hell of a time. It's pretty much it. Other than that, everything else is just a little poker.
Was there one that was harder to quit than the others? What's your full list of changes? I mean, what's your list, and which one was maybe the hardest one to give up?
They were all, I haven't had an issue with any of them. It was just like, I'm just done with them. Now we're here.
That's gaming, social media. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right, over here. Last time I asked you about Dana White privilege. Do you think that concept still plays a role in how fighters get opportunities in the UFC?
I don't know. You have to ask Dana that, but they see potential in people, and if you give the UFC opportunity to if you go get some sweet knockouts, they're gonna post them. It's gonna be all over. You do some sweet shit, they're gonna post it. They can't make that shit up. That shit I did. Like, I've earned where I'm at, and super grateful for the UFC.
Yeah. One other question. Your coach Tim Welch recently said Merab is the best bantamweight of all time. Do you also believe that?
I do. Yeah, Merab's the best bantamweight. I think Aljo was at the time I beat him, and I think Merab is right now too.
All right, thank you.
Sean, obviously this McGregor thing kind of blew up online, and you watching the Diaz fight. I wonder, like, what do you gauge?
I haven't seen it, to be honest.
Right. Oh well, of course you're not on social media. But what do you gauge when you watch that fight? Because I can't think of it as being like a particularly similar matchup stylistically or anything to this rematch between you and Merab.
But so I was watching a Conor Nate. I don't know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
I want to tell me what.
No, but basically, like this footage of you watching the Conor Nate rematch. Like you mentioned, you've been watching a lot of fights. What is it that you gauge from watching that fight in particular? I mean, it doesn't seem like a super similar fight to this one coming up on Saturday.
No, yeah, I just been watching a bunch of fights. I didn't even know there was like we just have cameras recording so much. I didn't realize like that was a moment that got captured. I've been watching a bunch of fights. Been watching some rematches. Watched Chuck versus Randy. Which I've never watched Chuck Liddell fights. Like obviously I knew who he was, but I've been watching a lot of old school fights. It's been cool. But yeah, I've always taken inspiration from Conor fights. I've watched Conor fights more probably than my fights more, but I've watched a lot of Conor fights. But what did Conor say?
Well, he was very complimentary. He was basically comparing the way you're preparing for this fight to how he prepared for Nate too, and it seems as though the relationship's back on track between you two.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Are you happy about that? Like obviously I know it's been rocky with you two, but it seems like now all good again.
I'll forever be a huge Conor fan. I feel grateful to be able to watch his come up like in my generation. Like I watched it happen. So I think we'll look back. I mean, he had one of the craziest careers. So it's cool to be able to watch it happen. While I was getting into the UFC and everything. So yeah, I'm pumped that the relationship's back to good.
And last thing, just you've had a pretty star-studded kind of camp, and people talked about Izzy before, and I know that Demetrius Johnson was over as well. How much I'd imagine DJ probably you can gauge a bit more because he's more your size and someone who can better replicate probably what Merab can do. But how much does it benefit having sort of A-list names like that in the camp?
Yeah, I think it's cool just for the guys that train at the gym. You see Israel Adesanya come in and take class, and you see Demetrius come in rolling the gi. Like it's just super inspiring to everybody. It was inspiring to me to see how humble they are and wanting to continue to learn. It was both we trained one session with both of them. It wasn't like, hey, what do you think? What should I do? Hey, like do this for Merab. Like it wasn't like that. It was more just kind of random, but it was really really cool.
Oh, and also, do you know what's going to happen with your mate Schmitty after the fight? Is he going to get into the after party?
I got a jet home at 3 a.m., brother. There's no after party this time. I'm going straight home.
Thank you.
Sean, over here. Looking back at your previous fight, is there a specific thing that you have learned that you think that will be crucial for this fight against Merab, the rematch?
I go with this kind of mindset every fight. It's like every time I fight someone, most of the time, it's like for them to take me down. Like, don't let him touch me. Don't let him touch me. If he doesn't touch me, I win the fight. So it's the same mindset I went in with Aljo.
I just saw a video of you and your team doing this atmosphere of the fight. Whose idea was this? It was something to motivate you or to manage the pressure of this rematch?
Yeah, no, it's Tim. Tim said, hey, we started training later in the afternoon. We've never sparred that late, so we just did a whole simulation, kind of the walkout, stood in the cage, waited for a little bit, and just simulating it, kind of visualizing it.
You are known as being a finisher on the first rounds. You have also a good records on this division, but also Merab is being known for his gas tank. He is going for the 5 rounds. Do you think this could go to the decision, or are you looking for finishing on the first rounds?
I would not be surprised if I finished him. I wouldn't be surprised if we went 25. I'm prepared for it to be a war.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, guys.